Well, it's a brand new open water season. We just put the boat in here at Chamberlain, South Dakota. We're on the Missouri River. This is Lake Francis Case. This is some of the best spring walleye fishing you'll find anywhere. Stay right where you're at. Fish Head's coming up. There's one. Boy, he hit it right on this turn. Get out in this wind a little bit, and it can get a little bit hairy when you swing around there. But he hit it right when this bait slowed down. Doesn't feel like a giant, but he feels like a pretty decent little eye to start our year with. Heck yeah, look at that. Missouri River is one of the funnest places I know of to fish in the spring, and I'll tell you why. These fish are just so aggressive. I mean, you can come out here and you can catch walleyes one after another at this time of the year because they're tuned up. They're getting ready to spawn. And these fish, they'll just look for areas like we're in right now. They'll look for these shoreline type areas or any of these spots where they're gonna come up and spawn. So all I'm doing is I'm trolling the edges of those areas. And as long as you can stay in those types of neighborhoods, you're gonna find fish. The other thing is I know a lot of times people don't think of crankbaits in the spring, and they don't think of crankbaits in the spring because we think of slow presentations, barely moving, you know, the fish not being real aggressive. But here's the thing, certain times, that's a perfect eater right there, 15 inches to start our year, that's a great start. But certain times of the year, these fish are always eating, and this is one of those times. So if you can put your lures right in the right spot, you can usually make fish bite. But what you want to do is really pay attention to the lures you're pulling. If you look today, look at how small that lure is that I'm pulling. This is a Lindy River Rocker, but it's a tiny little lure. And the reason I'm pulling the number 3 size is because all the bait in the system is really, really small right now. It's gonna get bigger as the summer grows, and we're gonna go to bigger size cranks. But right now, these things are just deadly. There's one. Ooh, boy, did that one hit it. No, that's why he clobbered it. Smallmouth. Boy, that fish hit it hard. You'll get all kinds of fish mixed up in this kind of stuff, though, at this time of year. Well, we've come downstream here about 6 miles. I think what happened this morning is those fish were stacked up in that marina. We probably caught the back end of it. But what that would also tell me is they were probably all stacked up on the shorelines early this morning. They've probably slid out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull cranks here again. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna slide out a little bit. I think we're gonna start in at 8 to 11 feet, run that, and I'm gonna run lead core to get these river rockers down. Let's see if we can't make something happen doing that here. There's one. Oh yeah. Just switch the color on this one. Sometimes that can make a huge difference too. You know, you look at this wind blowing out here today, it can dirty the water up pretty quick. Sometimes that color change will make a big difference. All I did is I went to a real bright orange. See if this guy fits into that keeper range or not. Oh yeah, he'll be close. Locations for what we're doing are actually pretty simple. What I'm doing right now, you know, we started this morning, I guess, up in that harbor. And starting up in there, what I was doing was I was looking for warm water. And as soon as I found warm water up there, it's another great 15-inch keeper. We'll throw him in there. But as soon as we found that warm water, I just decided to troll right out of there. We caught a fish right away. So that's one of the things you want to look for, is those areas that are holding warmer water. But now what we're doing down here as we've come down river is we're just finding these areas off of the shoreline where all of a sudden there's some flats that come out a little bit. What'll happen is these fish will all stage up on those flats, and you can just run along these things and you'll kind of go over them one at a time. Now this one here that I'm on right now is actually a little bigger. Ooh, we just just had another one on that got off right there. But once you get on these areas, these fish will stack themselves up out here, and you can actually get out of the wind. You don't got to be on the windy side. We're just on these flats where they're running around feeding during the day, and they'll run up to those shorelines tonight and they'll spawn. If you can get on a pattern like that, boy, you can catch fish over and over. They're all the same good eater male fish. You know, the Missouri River's always been one of my favorite places to fish. You know, whether it's up in Bismarck or Mobridge or down here in Chamberlain, this is a great place to go because you can catch fish doing pretty much anything you want. You can pull cranks, you can go up, you can pitch jigs in the low light period. It's just a lot of fun. There's one. Oh yeah. That feels like a decent fish. This has really turned into one of those days where there's just been a lot of having to move to find them. A lot of times that's just how it works. What we've had to do though now is move off that eastern shoreline where we had a little bit of protection, slide out here in the middle. Right on the other side, there's a little bit more current here, and I think it's making a big difference. There's more fish sitting right along here too. Look at that. That looks like another eater fish. That's a sauger right there. And you know, that's a neat thing too about coming out to the Missouri River is you get the opportunity to catch a whole variety of fish because you got walleyes out here, you got sauger, you name it, it's here. Yep, that's another good eater. We'll throw him in. That right there is a great way to wrap up the day and a great way to start the new season of Fish Ed. Check back each and every week, and we're going to run all over the Midwest. We're going to find some great bites. We're going to chase some fish down. No matter what your favorite species, we're probably going to fish for it this year. So check back each and every week. I'm Jon Thelen. We'll catch you next time.